Hey there, I'm Slightly Froggy, and welcome back to my stream. Today, I'm continuing my playthrough of Danganronpa V3, Killing Harmony. We're just getting ready to kick off the 4th trial, where we are going to have to investigate who killed Miu Iruma, the genius inventor, and all around just nice girl, very popular, very much missed by pretty much everybody in the school at this point, I'd say. I can't even say that with a straight face. Not a lot of tears with the death of Miu. She's a lot of fun, but she is a polarizing character, and in my point of view, was trying to pull off some kind of murder. Not sure of who. Probably Kokichi, to be honest. I think most of the characters at this point, if they're thinking of murder, they're probably thinking of killing off Kokichi, because Kokichi's a little bit too smart for his own good. Now, we're gonna have to definitely do a recap of the truth bullets, because it has been most of a week since I played last, and the investigation went by pretty quickly. I don't know if this is gonna be a longer trial or not, but we're gonna have to wait and see. So we're gonna give some people some time to kind of trickle in before we get started, but first let me fire up Green Hell. There it is. Here, I'll put on the sound. Alright, for the time being, though, we can probably kill some time at the casino. Maybe win a bit of cash. Because I think we hit our 10,000 last time. Oh yeah, there it is, 10,316. So even if I end up losing this Love Hotel key, I can get another one. Let's start out with the Mono slots. Let's see what we get. I'm not getting my hopes up because I almost never do well on the mono slots, but maybe today it's gonna be big money. Big money. Hey there, Kwa. Howdy doody to you as well. Ah, boo, nothing. Alright. Try number 2. Come on, big money. Dang. These slots do not like me. That was almost like a full wild line there. I don't know if the 18 makes up for how well I was doing earlier. Ooh, let's hit some pedestrians. Well, we gotta go normal. And we gotta max it out. Let's get started. Alright. Just gotta watch out for Mono Kid, run over Monodom, and we're good. Yes! Come on. Extreme concentration. Oh no. Son of a bitch. Man, he got me early, too. Out of my way. What's that last one? There we go. So as it stands right now, I'm not going to get too much into this conversation while I'm concentrating on this, but I'm not 100% sure who actually killed Miu. I've got a bit of a theory that somebody's programming maybe might have taken over. Oh no. Ooh, almost missed those guys. It's, I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe there's something to Kibo's little voice of reason in his head. Because it's just like, oh, what? She was gonna kill somebody? I need to kill her first. That'll stop it. Like, it's... I'm not sure. There might not actually be any sort of thing behind that. Who killed Miu? We're not sure. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Mono Kid, please no. And hey Hey JJ, welcome back to the stream. Was it me or you? Honestly, after some of the stuff she was saying last round, and how she was messing with the program, it could have been me. She was pushing her luck. Oh no. Okay. 11,000. I don't think that's a bad score. BBB. Okay. 1.5. Alright. I'll take that. So I made a bit of a profit. Nothing too crazy. Just because we've got some truth bullets to go over, but... And I always forget that every time we go into a trial. It's like, I should go over the truth bullets, just to have a refresher as to what the hell they're talking about. And then I usually forget. So hopefully this time I will remember. What game to play next? Let's try the slots again. I think I play better on the slots in real life than I do in Danganronpa. Not that I go to the casino all that often, but the one time I went, I didn't do too bad. Though at this point, I'm sure I played the Mono slots a lot more. Nothing. Wow, they hate me. Come on, give me something. Ooh, come on. Give me something here. Alright. Yeah, as it stands right now, I'm not sure who killed Mio. Like... I don't think it was Kokichi. I think it could have been, but I don't think it was. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's gonna be sort of the wild card in this game, where it's like the Toko in Danganronpa 1, where it's like, she's definitely killed a lot of people, and she's not a good person, but she didn't kill anybody during the game, so we give her a pass. I feel like Kokichi's sort of in that boat. Like, we haven't seen him actually, like, orchestrate any sort of murder. So, I think, like, how good a character is and how bad they are, like, I think he outranks Nagito in that regard. I don't know if he's, like... I feel like his manipulations generally work in our favor in terms of, like, actually doing good, so I guess he's sort of like in the Byakuya range of like, is a dick and is annoying, but like at the end of the day, not a terrible person. I could end up eating these words. I fully realize that at this point, but we will have to wait and see, I guess, won't we? Oh, it's about time. Let's do this for now. No, like, I have a difficult time predicting what's gonna happen in these games. But I like that. Just because, like, I've watched enough stuff, and I've played, like, a fair amount of, like, mystery-solving games where it's like, I tend to know roughly how things are gonna go. So I like it when, my expectations are subverted. I like it when I can't guess it. So long as it makes sense, and people aren't acting out of character, I like the surprise. I don't mind if it follows tradition either. So long as it makes sense, it's fine. It's when something kind of comes out of nowhere where it's like, ugh. Like, admittedly, that was something I didn't like about Kurumi's, was the whole her motive thing. It made sense for why she did what she did, but it just came so out of nowhere that it was sort of, it blindsided me a little bit. Like, I wasn't huge on that. I did like Kurumi as a character. Hey there, Kay. Welcome back to the stream. You've made it just in time. It is the start of the trial, but first, I need to go over all these truth bullets. All right. Oh, there's quite a list here. Alright, let's get started. The victim is the ultimate inventor, Miu Iruma. The victim's body was discovered in the computer room on the 4th floor of the school. The estimated time of death is 6:30 a.m. No injuries can be found on the victim's body. While looking for the secret of the outside world, Miu volunteered to search outside the chapel and split up from Himiko and the others. While Himiko, Maki, and Kibo were searching inside the chapel, they heard a loud sound as though something hit the chapel from the outside. When they went to investigate, they found Miu's avatar on the ground. Okay, so I think I talked about this last time. I think, the walls aren't really, a thing for objects, and I know she did have herself designated as an object, so I wonder if she, came around. She hit the side, she hit it very hard. They found Miu's avatar on the ground. Himiko and the others ran back to the mansion to log out and check on Miu, but with no bridge, they couldn't cross the river. It was there they met up with Shuichi. Kaito was the only one logged out of the virtual world. Well, he was forced out, but while he was looking for the secret of the outside world on the mansion's rooftop, a ring of light appeared around his feet and he was suddenly logged out against his will. Not knowing if it was okay to log back in or not, he went to his room and slept. The Killing Game Simulator text file contained the following information. Objects can't break. Avatars cannot be injured. However, the body's 5 senses are connected to the avatar, and any damage an avatar takes is felt by the user's real body. If an avatar takes fatal damage, then the real body will also die from shock, but the avatar is perfectly fine. Okay. Besides that, the virtual world is the same as the real world down to the laws of physics. There's no special travel methods such as vehicles or warps. With the exception of Miu, who died before she could log out, everyone only logged in and out once each time. Timestamps follow Himiko, Tsumugi, everybody, basically, including Miu in last. Yeah, I was just checking to see if maybe Miu changed a name or something. Okay, no, this seems like everybody. Maki, Kokichi, Gonta, yeah. Everybody logged out, except for Miu. Hey there, Olaf. Miu logged out forever. While Tsumugi was searching for the secret of the outside world, in the virtual world's mansion, she saw Miu's avatar through the window. While Shuichi and Tsumugi were in the mansion's kitchen in the virtual world, they heard a loud sound as though something crashed into something else. Shortly after, while they were both in the entrance hall, they heard Kibo's voice, despite the fact that he should have been past the map loading point. So Kibo, I think, is logged in as a person in that? I don't think he counted as an object. So he shouldn't have been able to move in the same way Miu was able to. For the visors to function, they need to be plugged into the computer with 2 specific cords. The right cord is for consciousness, blue is for memory. It is unknown what would happen if the cords were plugged into the wrong slots, but there's a chance that some kind of glitch might occur. Miu was found grasping her neck with both hands. She died with her eyes open and an expression of agony on her face. As the first to log out, Kibo was the first to discover Miu's body. She still had her visor on at the time. Interesting, okay. Bottle of poison from the Ultimate Detective's lab. It was found on Kokichi's seat. The poison is neutralized if it is mixed into anything, but is still quite dangerous, and even a small amount will kill someone. Oh no, this isn't a... It causes hemorrhaging, making its victim's eyes completely bloodshot, which I don't think hers were. I can't really tell from that. Yay! Yay for poison, yay for murder. First floor of the mansion, the virtual world, has a salon, a dining room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. The second floor is only the rooftop. Well, no, there's also a storehouse up there, but... while looking for the secret, the outside world, Kokichi searched the salon, Tsumugi searched the dining room, Kaito searched the rooftop, and Gonta searched outside of the mansion. Okay. Gosh, there's a lot here. Virtual world is surrounded by walls on all 4 sides, and there is a loading point between the 2 areas of the map. The loading point splits the map into 2 sides, mansion side, chapel side. When going through the map, loading point, sight and hearing are momentarily cut off. Yes, thank you, Olaf. In order to go between the mansion and chapel, it is necessary to go through the map loading point and across the river that runs parallel to it. Yeah, I'm doing well today. Hopefully you're doing well. Kickoff to the week. It's kind of crummy weather where I am, but it's spring. You're gonna get rainy weather. Not much you can do about it. Found on the ground outside the mansion. Toilet paper, which we're still not sure what the significance of that is. Signboard as a bridge. Signboard just long enough to use as a bridge to cross the river. There is only one in the virtual world. Mew threw it into the river, but it was later found stuck on the rocks in the river by the mansion. Oh, that explains. Yes, because we did look at the map for that, because if objects travel through and just keep coming back around, that would explain why it ended up on the rocks in front of the mansion in the way that it did. Found on the ground by Mew's avatar, Mew claimed she had rewritten the virtual world's program to delete all dangerous objects that could be used as weapons. Ooh. Here we go. Found on the ground by Mew's avatar, like the phone in the salon, it allows its users to log out by saying their name into it. However, it can also be used to force someone else to log out by saying their name into it. Found on the ground by Mew's avatar, was not seen in the chapel before that point. That was in the storeroom. Hey there, infamous god. Welcome back. I'm doing pretty well today. Hopefully you're doing well on this Monday night. Yeah, like, I mean, it's April. I mean, you can end up getting snow into early May. That's why I haven't taken my snow tires off yet. Also due to laziness. Found frozen and collapsed in the snow between the chapel and the wall where the virtual world ends. When a user logs out, their avatar disappears, but if the user's real body dies, the avatar stays in the virtual world. Since avatars cannot be injured, it doesn't look any different from when Mew was alive. Everything in the killing game simulator is assigned one of two categories, human or object. Most avatars are set to human, however, Mew's avatar was the only one that was set to object. Okay, so not even Kibo. While everyone was gathered at the chapel, Mew told Kokichi to meet her at the rooftop of the mansion. I imagined he was going to use the hammer on Kokichi. However, when everyone was deciding how to split up to search for the secret of the outside world, Mew volunteered to search the chapel, giving her an out. Kokichi, or alibi rather. Kokichi agreed to meet up with Mew on the rooftop, but because the door to the rooftop was locked, he couldn't. Because of that, he returned to the salon and decided to search there. There are no witnesses who can confirm whether or not Kokichi was actually in the salon. Kibo is human? For once, yes. They were not robophobic. No one's getting canceled today. Coordinates in the virtual world are represented on an X and Y axis. Mew added a wall along the length of the Y axis. The wall had a special setting that allowed non-human objects to pass through it. Kokichi's avatar had a special setting. If Mew touched him, he would be unable to move. Oh, she 100% was trying to kill him. I thought she already did earlier. We saw that scene of the two of them in the research lab, and it's like, ooh. It's like, I'm sorry, prying eyes should not be watching. Alright, last one. When everyone logged in for the first time, an avatar user error occurred. I almost forgot about that one. I'm glad that was there. Alright, so I believe that's all the truth bullets. We've got our skills in place. Yeah, I've got everything selected that I can. Wait. No, I guess I didn't. Okay, hold up. Let me just make sure I've got all the ones I have. Yeah, alright. Okay. Nice, alright, I think we're good. Alright, guys. Ugh. Yeah, he needed a cleaning. That's it. That's it. He just needed a bit of a cleaning. All right, let's get going. Let's start this mess. Monokuma's now taking over as resident pervert of the game.
Now then, let's begin with a basic explanation.
He's just so fed up with the world.
Screw it. This is tiresome.
You need more motivation.
I do. I really, really do. Now then, let's start this class trial.
Or whatever.
Before we start, I just want to ask something since there's not a lot of us left.
Yeah, that's... Yes, let's start accusations now, right off the bat.
What happens if the votes result in 2 first places?
Huh? You mean like the tie? It means they're both the black one. As long as one of them is correct, it's fine.
Oh, so two people can kill, but so long as you ended up getting at least one of them, it's fine.
Daddy, are you sure you should make a decision like that so casually?
Nah, no, whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
Thanks. Since that's answered, I can start enjoying this life or death game now.
What game? How long are you gonna keep saying that?
I mean, it is a game.
Just ignore Kokichi. The rest of us need to work together to find the truth.
I'm with Himiko, yes. Yeah, like, I feel like that's a big precedent to set. But...
We can't die here! Oh my! Himiko has become so determined!
I know, I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of my
It's
little
true.
witch daughter.
People really do change.
But now she's lost what made her so unique.
It's for the better.
That's none of your business!
We should focus on the class trial. First, we need to clarify.
Ooh.
Kaito's the culprit.
I just noticed on Mew's portrait it's XXX. And it's like, that seems fitting. Kaito's the culprit. Alright, we're getting started.
What? Say that to my face!
He did. You're all in the same room.
While we were all still logged in, Kaito logged out alone, right? You were able to move freely. Doesn't that mean you could have committed the murder?
Don't screw around! There's no way I'm the culprit!
Kaito right. Kaito couldn't have killed Mew.
We were all asleep. Going to know you don't understand how this works.
How long are you gonna keep saying that? Trusted people can still kill, you know.
I mean, he's right, but...
We already saw that a bunch of times. So many times. Since Kaede.
Don't go doing that, Kokichi. You shut up. The fact that Kaito is the only one logged out is suspicious. But he's not the culprit. He can't be. Well, I didn't want to hang out with him. I didn't want him as my partner, so...
Kaito logged out first, by himself. Mew was still logged in, though. That's when you poisoned her, right, Kaito?
Kaito culprit? Impossible!
Of course it's impossible, because I didn't do it! I mean, we found that bottle of poison on Kokichi's seat, didn't we?
And
The
he's
culprit was
right.
trying to pin the blame on me. That diversion was part of your plan, right, Kaito?
Well, Kaito, any last words?
No, Himiko, stop.
What do you mean, last words?
No, Himiko. First we need to decide if Mew was killed in the real world or the virtual world. Okay, I have to double check my... There was one... That's it. Okay, so it's Killing Game Simulator. Okay. That's where the problem lies.
Kaito logged out first, by himself. Mew was still logged in, though. That's when you poisoned her, right, Kaito?
Oh, nope. Symptoms of poison. No. Oh, so it's the Oh.
Oh no!
Okay, no, I know what I did wrong. I got this. I got it. I
Kaito
got it.
logged out first, by himself. Mew was still logged in, though. That's when you poisoned her, right?
Oh. Oh, no.
Kaito culprit? Impossible!
Here.
Of course it's impossible.
Alright, I gotta skip back around. I missed it. That's okay. I'll get it. I'll get it this time. I'll get it this time, guys. I got it.
Kaito logged out first, by himself. Mew was still logged in, though. That's when you poisoned her, right, Kaito?
There.
That's wrong!
Because her eyes were not bloodshot, so she didn't get poisoned.
Mew wasn't killed by poison, and the warning on the label proves it. Drinking the poison would result in subconjunctival hemorrhaging.
Man, I wonder how many, like, I can't even say it. Subconjunctival hemorrhaging.
In
Oh
other
my
words,
God.
your eyes would be bloodshot.
That's easier to say.
Oh, but Mew's body. That's right. Her eyes weren't bloodshot. She wasn't killed by that poison.
Then what was that poison for?
A prop.
Probably a diversion. The culprit wanted us to think Mew died by poison.
Then, what was her real cause of death?
If I can pronounce it. As soon as I fumble saying it, like, that instantly gets rid of any credibility. I can be a doctor. Mew's real cause of death. The only one I can think of is...
This is it!
There we
Mew's
go.
cause of death was the killing game simulator itself. In the virtual world, if your avatar takes fatal damage, your real body dies of shock.
You die in the game, you die in real life.
That was made clear in the program's text file.
Mew received fatal damage in the virtual world and died from that shock.
In that case, it's fair to say that the cause of death was actually the simulator.
Okay. Sternocleidomastoid. Sternocleidomastoid. Is that roughly correct? Sternocleidomastoid. Oddly enough, I find that easier to say. If I'm even saying it correctly. That's a big if.
Gonta has question.
Alright.
Where is this virtual world place? What floor is it on?
I love Gonta, but he is so stupid. Oh, it's the neck muscle. Okay, that's good to know. Virtual world. He needs shoes. He's walking around barefoot, and he has been for weeks now.
If you don't understand, then don't say anything.
Oof, that's cold, Maki.
If Mew was killed in the virtual world, then the next
I
thing
mean,
we need
that's
to
my
figure
wife,
out
but still, damn.
is what caused her to incur fatal damage within the virtual world.
So her cause of death in the virtual world is the one that matters.
Gonta don't understand.
Oh, it seems like Gonta is confused. So why don't we review things a bit? So we split into two groups to find the secret of the outside world.
The ones who searched the mansion were me, Shuichi, Samugi, Gonta, and
Kaito.
that NPC Kaito.
Hey, who you calling NPC, you ASS?
And the others who searched the chapel were Keyboy, Maki, Himiko, and the late Mew.
How could someone have given her fatal damage in that situation? That's what we gotta think about. Now, let's all work together.
Guys, I'm so proud of Himiko. Like, look at her. She's passionate. She's thinking logically and rationally. Look at her.
Aww, little Himiko is all grown up. Too bad your chest hasn't grown up, though.
That's a low blow.
That was uncalled for. Someday, my chest will grow like crazy.
I'm gonna use magic.
Let's begin then.
The fatal damage that Mew received in the virtual world. Happy very late horny day in memory of Miss Horny herself, Mew. Oh, was it Mew's birthday? Let's pin that down. Alright. Non-stop debate. Let's go. This corpse signboard used to
In the
spread
virtual world, Mew was fatally injured.
Oh, was it?
So let's focus our efforts on that first.
Whoever did that to Mew was dropped right next to her avatar. It has to be the hammer!
We're going to beat her with his bare hands.
Are we certain that blunt force was involved? I think strangulation is more likely.
Yep, I agree.
It's possible she was pushed from a great height.
Could she have drowned?
No. Like, what made that national, like, because I'm trying to think, like, 0416. It's horny day. Like, it's just one of those, like, it's National Yellow Handkerchief Day. Like, you have to determine the specific cause of death. Think about the condition of Miu's body that should yield a clue.
In the virtual world, Miu was fatally
Oh,
injured.
it's the corpse. That's it.
So let's focus our efforts on that first.
Whatever did that to Mew was dropped right next to her avatar.
It was the
It has to
hammer.
be the hammer!
Nope.
We're going to beat her with his bare hands.
No.
Are we certain that blunt force was involved?
There we go.
I think strangulation is more likely.
Yes, I got the V. I agree. That statement.
Miu's body showed severe trauma and signs of a struggle.
Yeah, she looked like she suffered. Very hard to look at.
Right. And the
Ooh,
virtual
was it
world
the
is
toilet
connected to
paper?
our 5 senses. If her body experienced pain, she must have been in pain in the virtual world as well. Knowing that, I believe Maki is correct. Miu was strangled to death.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I love Maki, but Maki is the
Poison are
expert on
only
these
methods
things.
that can make her look like she's suffocated.
Yeah.
But we already removed the possibility of poison, so it can only be strangulation. Also, when a victim is poisoned, they commonly grab their chest or mouth. But Miu was holding her throat. It's obvious
There's
she
too
was
much
trying to
kinky stuff
protect
for
her
Miu.
Oh. The assassin master gets really chatty when it comes to corpses.
You're gonna be next with that kind of talk, Kokichi. Do you want to die?
In that case, her exact cause of death is being strangled in the virtual world.
But is strangulation even possible in the virtual world?
I mean, why not?
If the avatars were equally strong, it would be difficult to strangle a resisting victim.
That's a good point.
Yeah, if she was just as strong as them, no way they could have strangled her.
Then the culprit would need a tool. There are tons of cases where a weaker person would strangle a stronger person with a rope.
Wow, you know a lot about killing, nerd.
Oh, he is so getting strangled again.
But was there even a rope in that world? I don't remember seeing one.
It's the toilet paper. Because it can't
They
rip.
must have used something else as a rope.
Something for a rope? I have an idea of what it might be. I found it during the investigation. There it is.
This is it!
Got it!
During the investigation, we found toilet paper outside the mansion.
We figured somebody had to take a Mondo shit, but turns out it might have been the murder weapon. Is this toilet paper? What would toilet paper be doing here?
I'm guessing that the toilet paper was used to strangle her.
Gonta, no can ignore that!
What? Oh, Gonta, you don't even know what you're talking about.
What you mean, Shuichi?
Yeah, it does seem oddly fitting, actually.
Huh? What's wrong?
What, wrong? Shuichi goofing off! Not gentlemanly at all!
Gonta, I love you, and I know we spent that one night together, but dang, dude, you gotta get it together.
It's no time for nonsense! You know we use toilet paper in place of rope! Would tear too easy! Even Gonta know that, and Gonta not smart.
Okay. Alright.
There's no time for nonsense. No can use toilet paper in place of rope. Would tear too easy.
Oh, I gotta...
Even Gonta know that, and Gonta not smart.
Okay. Okay. Alright. Advance.
No, I'm positive toilet paper was used instead of rope.
You died such an awful death. So why you not take this seriously? You call yourself ultimate detective?
Wow. Oh no.
Use your head! Figure out real murder weapon!
Advance, alright.
No, I'm positive toilet paper was used instead of rope.
Just keep insisting.
No time for nonsense!
Oh.
You know can use toilet paper in place of rope! Would tear too easy!
Oh no, shoot.
Even Gonta know that, and Gonta not smart!
Dang, I had to use
No,
it there, didn't
I'm
I?
positive toilet paper was used instead of rope.
You died such an awful death. So why you not take this serious? You call yourself ultimate detective? Use your head! Figure out real murder weapon!
No, I had to use it there,
No,
didn't I?
I'm positive.
I know, I
toilet
missed it
paper
that
was
first
used
time.
instead
I'll
of
get it
rope.
this time.
There's no time for nonsense! You know can use toilet paper in place of rope! Would tear too easy!
No, that wasn't it.
I was wrong.
Boo. Okay, no, I guess it's
No
all.
time for nonsense! You know can use toilet paper in place of rope!
Yeah.
Would tear too easy!
There we go, and I got the V.
Cut through your words.
Took me a moment, but I got it.
The toilet paper wouldn't tear.
See, I thought
Because in a
this.
virtual
The reason I
world,
picked the sign was sort of be like, look,
unbreakable.
we used the sign, and the sign didn't break when we crossed it. But it's like, oh no, it's the rules of the game. Tie up a box with some toilet paper? I don't think I ever have.
Breakable?
You're so dumb, Gonta. You didn't even know that?
He doesn't even know what a virtual world is. He thought he was asleep.
If objects can't break in that world, then toilet paper shouldn't be able to tear. And since it couldn't tear, it could be used as a rope.
Gonta not really understand, but
Okay. Hey there, Uma Grape Jelly, and welcome back to the stream. Who died? Our favorite scientist, inventor, Mew Iruma. The nicest girl in the whole game. Everybody loved her, and everybody misses her.
sorry, Shuichi. Gonta was wrong.
Yes, you were.
It's okay, Gonta. Don't worry about it.
Killed by toilet paper. It was a fitting end for her.
Yeah.
A fitting end? I do not fully understand that logic.
She was of his people.
But if Mew was killed near the chapel, why was the murder weapon by the mansion?
Because
Maybe
they
the
threw
culprit
it,
tried to get
maybe?
rid of it to destroy the evidence.
If the culprit meant to get rid of the evidence, they did a poor job of it. It was a much better place where they could have destroyed it.
If toilet paper was the murder weapon, then what's the deal with the hammer next to her?
Misdirection, I guess? Or maybe it was used to knock her down and then strangle her?
Perhaps the culprit prepared a backup weapon, just in case.
But Mew brought the hammer. She
No,
brought the
The
hammer.
culprit didn't bring the hammer.
No? But who else but the culprit would bring a hammer?
Wait, we already know who brought that hammer. Person who brought it was Mew.
That's it. Mew was the one who brought the hammer.
No, Mew's not terrible. Like, Mew's just, like, ridiculous. She's just very over the top. But you could say that about a lot of characters in this franchise.
Mew bring hammer?
Remember what she told us?
I rewrote the program to delete all dangerous objects that could be used as weapons. Except...
Yeah, she did say she deleted any dangerous objects.
If that were true, she wouldn't have missed something like a hammer. Meaning that Mew must have left it on purpose.
On purpose?
Murder.
Why she do that?
Murder. You brought the hammer for sure, but what did she need it for? Yeah, see the triple X there. We need to make that clear. She was going to commit a murder.
Let's assume that Mew brought the hammer. What was she planning to do with it?
Maybe use it to break down a wall?
Uses for a hammer. Don't know. Mew gonna build stuff with hammer.
She probably just brought it for self-defense.
Nope.
Or she secretly met up with someone and tried to kill them with it.
Ooh.
You idiot! She was the victim!
They're like, this is what my ex death is gonna look like. I'll never need it because I'm not gonna die. Aww. What was me planning to do with the hammer? That's still unclear. I need to think back to what she was doing, what her plan was.
Let's assume that Mew brought the hammer. What was she planning to do with it?
Maybe use it to break down a wall?
No.
Uses for a hammer. Don't know. Mew gonna build stuff with hammer.
Aw.
She probably just brought it for self-defense.
Or she secretly met up with someone.
Got that V. Oh, actually, something I should probably ask somebody to look up. We've got a secret Monokuma in one of these games, don't we? In one of the mini games. If somebody could double check for me what that is, that way I can keep an eye out for it. I know I've already missed one from the previous case, but I'd like to get this one. Mew's gonna meet up with someone in the virtual world.
Mm-hmm. With me. I was supposed to meet up with Mew on the roof of the mansion.
What? Is that true?
I overheard them talking about it at the chapel.
By the
Nosy
way, Mew
Kibo.
asked to meet up with me before we went into the virtual world. I totally forgot where we were supposed to meet, so good thing Keyboy spied on us.
Wait, so Mew called Kokichi out?
If Mew brought the hammer, I wonder what she was planning to do with it.
Was she planning to kill moi? Hangman's Gambit. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, JJ. Kokichi's already figured it out. She was planning to... Mew asked to meet with Kokichi. She could use the hammer to kill Kokichi.
That's it.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
She was trying to kill Kokichi.
But why would she ever? She's had a crush on Kokichi this whole time.
She was what?
The guy who called her a cum dumpster multiple times.
Yep, she plotted to meet up with me and then kill me with the hammer. If you want to prove this, you'll need to figure out Mew's plan, okay?
Mew's plan, huh? I'm sure if I analyze the clues we found, I can figure something out. Alright, let's do it. Oh, here we go. Psyche Taxi. Oh, that's 4 right off the bat here. Yes, here we go. Kokichi. Out of the way, car. Tried to kill Kokichi? Who tried to kill Kokichi? Oh, I was missing a letter. Who tried to kill Kokichi? Oh, look at that face. Those Mew billboards at the side. Who tried to kill Kokichi? I just want to hit one. Get. Just me, you're such a coward. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. Oh, this one. Oh, here's a bunch. He just disappears. They're like, hey, Shuichi, you there, buddy? I'm thinking about driving. I'm sorry, you're thinking about what? There's me trying to kill Kokichi. On the rooftop. Oh boy. Okay. I mean... This is such a bizarre concept for a game. Next question. What? Hello. Ah, it's just gibberish. At the museum, in the parlor with the knife, with the candlestick in the library. Oh, no. Come on, come on. Oh, slight. Why was a bottle of poison on Kokichi's seat? To frame him. I have a number of passengers in this car. Oh, to divert attention. Man, look at all these girls I got in my car. I'd love if while this was going on, Shuichi is just standing at his podium going,
If Kokichi was killed in the real world.
Alright, back to
Placed
murder.
the poison on my seat to make us think the murder happened in the real world.
She did that too?
What? Miu was the one who put that poison bottle there? No, that ain't right. Something's definitely weird about that.
Is it?
When could Miu have put the poison there?
She logged in
If
last.
she did place the poison without us noticing, then she must have logged out at some point.
Nope.
And then what? She logged back in?
Kokichi, weren't you in the salon around that time? Did you see her log in or log out at all?
Nope, I didn't see that at all.
If she hadn't logged in or out, then you couldn't have placed the poison.
Disagree.
Then who put poison bottle?
The only person who logged out early was Kaito.
Oh, no, never mind. She
Kaito,
totally
your
did
grave
it.
just got 10 feet deeper.
No, it wasn't me, guys.
He's like, no, that's not what I wanted. The poison was planted, evidence. The question is when it was planted. Yeah, because she logged in last. We determined the when, we might also determine the who.
When could Miu have put the poison there?
If she did place the poison without us noticing,
And she logged in?
Weren't you in the salon around that time? Did you see her log in or log out at
Now
all?
we're getting to that point.
Nope, I didn't see that at all.
If she hadn't logged in or out, then you couldn't have placed the poison.
I didn't get the V.
That's wrong.
Nah, well, I was doing pretty well. I was getting the V points.
It was Mew who planted the poison on Kokichi's chair. She had plenty of time to do it. Here, take a look at this.
Is this a record of who went in and out of the virtual world?
Yeah, she had like 2 minutes.
That's right. It says that Mew was the last of us to log in.
Yeah, what about it?
If she logged in last, she would have had time to move around in the real world after the previous person logged in.
That's right. She could have placed poison bottle on Kokichi's seat.
This was all part of Mew's plan.
Her master plan.
She tried to kill me in the virtual world, make us think it happened in the real world, then pin the crime on Kaito.
Well, that's not my fault.
Yeah, she logged him out. Log in, log out. Forgot the 3-month password. I know. Ugh. Oh, and it's case sensitive too. Ugh. Wait, I have it written down somewhere.
Which is why she manually logged you out, just for that purpose.
So she did that to me?
Yes, I'm positive of that. Mew used a method only she could use to log Kaito out manually.
Using the cell phone. How did she do it?
This is it!
That's it!
It was the cell phone found by Mew's avatar. That cell phone worked the same way as the phone in the salon. It logs users in and out. I verified this myself when I spoke Kaito's name into it.
Kaito Momoda. He logged out, just as I thought. It is going to get brought up, though, that would Kokichi would be able to do that in the salon?
But Mew never mentioned a cell phone, right?
That's what Shuichi referred to when he mentioned a method only she could use. She kept the cell phone a secret on purpose, so she could use it for the murder.
Ooh.
So, she really was planning a murder.
Bad girl Mew.
And she tried to set me up.
Well, I knew that from the start.
Then
You just
why did you
told
say
us.
I was the culprit?
'Cause it's fun, Kaito.
Because I wanted to get it through your thick skull. People you trust and defend will ultimately betray you. This is a game of suspicion.
Creepy face.
Well, I think your ideals should stay the same.
It's more fun that
Because
way.
phonies like you are what make the game more interesting. Don't you agree, Monokuma?
Do I?
Nah,
I don't know about that.
I guess.
Huh? Wait, what were we talking about?
I miss fun Monokuma.
I wonder when Daddy's
Oh.
gonna get his motivation back.
Yeah! If Father keeps slacking off, all the work is gonna get forced onto Mommy.
Mommy's already dead.
Huh? Mommy?
Oh no.
My head! I feel like I'm about to remember something, but I can't.
Keep going, Monotaro.
Taro, pull yourself together!
Anywho, it's a blessing in disguise that Mew died and not me.
I mean, oh no. One unpleasant person died, and we're still left with one more unpleasant person left. Is he actually? I never noticed that. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look out for that next time. Because, admittedly, the creepy face is pretty distracting. And I almost forgot he had a hat. Because I know it's in his profile picture, but that's it. What you mean?
Because she wouldn't have said anything about what really happened in the virtual world. You guys would have had a way harder time finding the culprit, you know?
He's right.
She would have been able to lie about the virtual world settings as much as she wanted.
So this is why I stand by my point that, like, as much as Kokichi is a big shit disturber, he generally is working in favor of what we're trying to accomplish. He's just doing it in the most, like, chaotic way possible and being kind of a dick about it. But he still is, for now, working within our interests. Hey there, Jave Man. Welcome to the stream. Or is it Have Man? I'm not sure.
And you'd never know that the murder actually took place in the virtual world.
So that's why she decided to attempt a murder, because she had total control.
It was her domain, but yet...
And the reason Mew was so insistent we go into the virtual
Okay,
world
Javeman, got it. Welcome to the stream. You've joined us for a murder trial. You guys are only bitching because you haven't been to the virtual world yet. But once you go, you'll understand. Seriously, it's so fucking awesome. I know you guys will love it. You'll love it to death. Mew, why did you wink like that? Like what? It's nothing weird, it's fine. I do this all the time. And then you're gonna fall in love with me for showing it to you guys. So let's just dive in, okay? We'll do it together.
She was insistent we go there so she could kill us. What a shady person.
Determined Himiko is still great. I love her.
I was sad that she was gone, but now I don't know what to think.
I felt bad that she died, but I mean, if she was just gonna kill someone, is that okay?
Nice! Backstabbed by a trusted friend.
Nah, kinda trusted.
See? That's
Kinda
an ideal
friend.
fun situation. Now we can start a real class trial.
Hey, Kokichi sort of sound like Monokuma.
I mean, he's right.
Really? I don't sound anything like him.
Not at all.
No, you're just like Monokuma.
They did beat up.
Both of you are cowards. You never speak the truth or show your true face.
Ooh, is Kokichi gonna go for it? Probably not.
Wait, coward? You say some interesting things sometimes, Kaito.
Smiling, putting on a mask, never saying what you really think.
Ooh.
That kind of cowardice is just like Monokuma.
Daddy, they're calling you a coward. Aren't you gonna do something?
I bet she's asleep.
Yeah, I just gotta do my signature laugh, right? There, I did it.
His heart's just not in it.
He's completely lost his drive. Like a one-hit wonder who clings to their former fame.
Aww.
My head!
Listen up, Kokichi. To hell with this game of suspicion crap. I will never be okay with it. I'm just gonna believe in everyone. Instead of suspecting my friends, I'm gonna find the truth by believing in them.
Shuichi's kind of looking like,
If you think you can win this game like that, then sure, be my guest.
with heart and soul.
Of course I can. I don't need your permission.
How long are you guys going to argue? Let's hurry this up and continue. If we don't find the culprit, then we'll all die. You know that?
I just don't like the halo and the wings on Angie.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
If we are going to begin searching for the culprit, let's start with Kokichi's story.
Huh? My story?
You were meeting with Mew, but she ended up as the victim.
What happened?
So it's only natural for us to think you're the killer, right?
Here's my answer. I never met up with Mew.
You didn't?
Door was
I
locked.
tried to go to the roof to meet up with her, but the door was locked.
But isn't lockpicking your specialty? You should have been able to open it easy.
I mean, she's got a point there.
I couldn't pick locks with my avatar body. I didn't have the tools for it either.
Mew wouldn't let me
Also,
have them.
I never went to the roof, not even for the meeting.
How do you know the door was locked?
I remember you and Gonta went off together when we first started looking.
But was the door to the roof actually locked? When I was on the roof before logging out, the door wasn't locked.
Huh? How should I know?
Then who locks the door to the roof?
I already told you. How should I know?
When I went to the roof, it wasn't locked. So you gotta be lying.
What good would it be if I lied? I don't want to die either, you know.
Lying would do you a lot of good if you're the culprit.
Oh, I love this Himiko so much, guys.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize that.
Kokichi, like, Himiko is not, like, the smartest person in the room, but she's not, like, 2 brain cells in a witch's hat. She's actually thinking now.
What kind of response is that? That's suspicious as hell!
What? I thought you were gonna believe in all your friends, Kaito.
Wait, there's no point in arguing about that now. The truth will come out eventually. Before we get to that, we need to discover the truth behind Miu's death. Truth? There were mysterious circumstances surrounding her death.
Like how her body got there if the toilet paper was over there.
We need to make sense of those first.
Wow, Shuichi, you know your way around this game.
I mean, it's the 4th one, so... like, 4th
Keep up the
trial.
hard work. The fate of our lives rests in your hands.
So, what is this strange circumstance?
Like everything? But I guess we'll need to be more specific.
Kokichi claims it was Miu who chose the meeting place. But I'm wondering how she got from the chapel to the mansion's roof.
I see. Miu sent the bridge connecting the mansion and chapel into the river herself.
Whoops, my hand slipped.
If that's the case, then Miu might not have even gone to the roof.
Huh? So she stood me up? It's very rude to break a promise.
It's true. First we need to determine if Miu was actually there or not. Did she go? Or was she never on the roof at all? No, I think she was. But she's an object.
Miu was waiting for me to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
No, Miu should have been at the chapel. Look at where her avatar fell. It's right next to the chapel.
How would she have gotten to the mansion? There was no bridge over the river.
A bridge would be the only way to get across.
So, her meeting with Kokichi...
She stood me up!
No, okay, that's not it. Okay, I gotta double check my truth bullets. Like, man, even Kibo's a person. I'm not robophobic. We're not getting canceled today. First glance, it seems as if it's impossible for Miu to go to the mansion. But there has to be some evidence that shows it is possible. Okay, just want to double check something. No. No travel methods. Oh, it's Samugi.
Miu was waiting for me to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
No, Miu should have been at the chapel.
Yeah, I got the V.
Miu must have gone to the mansion. We have a witness.
Yeah, when I was searching the dining room, I saw Miu pass by the window.
Then why didn't you say so sooner?
Sorry, I thought I was just mistaken at first, since there was no way she could have come to the mansion. But I guess I wasn't mistaken after all. That was definitely Miu.
Then, how did she get to the mansion from the chapel?
There must have been some special method only Miu knew, like with that cell phone.
There's no doubt about
She just
that.
T-posed and then
dropped the
just
bridge.
no-clipped through the wall.
If a murder occurred when it was impossible to cross the river, she wouldn't be implicated. She used a secret method to move from the chapel to the mansion for the murder.
She dropped the bridge to make a huge scene, just to let everyone know it's no longer there.
So, what secret method did she use?
It won't be that easy to figure out. It's called a secret method for a reason.
We're trying to figure it out, Himiko. Come on.
No worries, guys. As long as we leave it to Shuichi, everything will be A-okay.
Ugh, don't leave it all up to me all the time. Other people can come up with answers too. What?
What are you saying? We can't just rely on Shuichi all the time. This class trials for all of us. We're here to solve this together.
You would just slow down Shuichi.
What's he angling at here? Is he trying to break me up for my best bro Kaito? How dare he? I don't have time to deal with Kokichi. Right now I need to focus on the case. I'm positive that Mew used some kind of special method to get to the mansion. Okay, I'll just have to figure out what it was. Oh, is this Hangman's Gambit? No, okay. Another debate. Let's go.
A way across that only Mew knew about.
Like a hidden bridge besides that signboard, maybe.
Or instead of bridge, Mew used some kind of vehicle to go over.
Nope.
Or maybe she teleported with magic. Or she used a warp zone.
Maybe there's a place you could cross without a bridge.
A hidden route that only Mew could use to get across. I suppose it is possible she used that to change places.
Man, you guys are way off. Or maybe I'm just pulling your legs.
Oh, shut up. Secret method only Mew knows. Okay, so I imagine it's the wall. She tampered with the program. It's hard to imagine that has nothing to do with it. I'm sure she changed something.
A way across that only Mew knew about.
What could it be?
Like a hidden bridge besides that signboard, maybe.
Or instead of bridge, Mew used some kind of vehicle to go over.
Or maybe she teleported with magic. Or she used a warp zone.
Maybe there's a place you could cross without a bridge.
A hidden route that only Mew could use to get across.
I agree.
Okay, I didn't get the V on that one, but I got it.
That's it, Kibo. There was a hidden route only Mew could use.
I agree with the robot.
Was there really?
Mew modified the program to add a special wall to the world. The wall stretches along the y-axis, but we found 2 such walls in the virtual world. It's unclear whether Mew added the wall by the mansion or the wall near the chapel. We do know that that wall was set so that only objects could pass through it.
Don't be naive, Shuichi.
No, Kaito, shut up, dude.
What is it, Kaito?
Jeez, Mew set up a weird wall like that? That is suspicious. But it's got nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Unless he's just trying to set me up.
Nothing to do with it.
He's trying to support me by
You don't
arguing
even
with me.
realize your mistake?
Arguing.
Are you losing your edge? Oh,
Like
well,
he's smiling.
Sidekick's mistakes are my mistakes. I'll make it right.
He's not actually fighting with me.
What we gotta figure out is how Mew got from the chapel to the mansion. So why waste time talking about the It's pointless. We gotta take a whole new approach here.
Now, wait just a second. It's not actually impossible at all.
But you
What the
just
world?
said so, didn't you? That wall Mew set up
Oh.
only lets non-human objects go through it. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Mew obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall. She's not just an object after all.
I'll cut through your words.
Well, actually.
The wall wasn't the only thing that Mew changed. She also changed her avatar settings from human to object.
Actually, Mew changed a lot of things in this game.
From human to object?
Which means the virtual world treated her avatar as an
Actually.
object. She could have passed through a wall
Actually.
that only non-humans could go through.
Is that right?
Wait, did he not know? I assumed he was trying to make
Don't
me
get
look
ahead
good.
of yourself, Kaito. We need to listen to everything Shuichi says. I already told you. The more you try, the more you cause us trouble.
Oh, don't talk down to my buddy. I know he was just going against me, but I don't think he really was.
It's so totally lame that your own sidekick is dissing you!
Kokichi, enough! I wasn't arguing with him. I was just explaining.
I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all.
Yes, 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 yes. Kaito doesn't care.
It just means even I make mistakes. Don't worry about it, Shuichi.
Oh, she was really sneaky, honestly. Like, she had this pretty well thought out, and it makes me wonder, like, exactly where this went wrong. Was it because Kokichi figured it out ahead of time? Did somebody else interfere in a way she didn't predict? I'm not sure. I'm very curious to see how this pans out.
Okay.
Alright.
It's pretty funny seeing Kaito try to act all tough like this.
Kokichi, please refrain from making such irrelevant and irrational remarks.
Kibo, he's not gonna listen to you. Like, he calls you a walking toaster.
So, if Mew messed with the program and made a wall only she could go through,
Then her secret route was through that wall?
Guess
that's
so.
it, right? Like using a glitch in a game to walk outside the map.
Yes!
I bet Mew had a hidden passage like that in the back of the chapel.
No!
But even if she could walk through walls, was there really a hidden passage? Because Mew said...
No, you're not trapped here. Beyond that wall is the end of the world, literally. Past that wall, nothing exists. Everything ends there. I have proof that it doesn't.
She probably lied. There would be no point in going if there was nothing on the other side.
You lied.
Aw, but people just do that? They go into virtual games and they tell lies?
I wonder what the truth is. There's no way to find out now.
That cum-soaked urinal cake was totally lying about there being nothing past the wall.
Wow. She's not even here to hear this. And he's still just like, chap chap. No, none of them. You know what? Kokichi would win every time. Because I feel like he would weaponize the fact that people would suspect him. So whether he was or wasn't, like, the traitor. The classic.
She lived a life of pride, vulgarity, and secrets. Lying would be a piece of cake for her.
Kokichi, you don't have to go that far.
I mean, Gonta's got a point, but Kokichi also kind of has a point.
Stop it! Don't badmouth Mommy!
Monotaro?
He snapped out of it. He remembered.
Listen to you, talking about Mommy like she was a terrible lying whore. But Mommy wasn't lying. There was no hidden route in that virtual world.
Oh, there wasn't, huh?
Hey, there's CBF01. I don't know. Like, I feel like he would just, like, he'd cause enough mass confusion and panic that he would cause somebody else to, like... Monotaro was, for some reason, under the impression that Mew was his mom. It was part of his amnesia storyline. She is not actually his mother. But dang, he is committing to the part. Yeah, oh, 100%. He'd be like, yeah, hey Gonta, can you go work on that over there? Thanks, I'm just gonna go check out this vent, bye.
Hey! You can't tell them such an important hint!
Oh, if you say that hint is important, then I guess it must be true.
Oh, shoot!
Ah, jeez. You're lucky you're cute.
Was Kokichi saying all that stuff about Mew to get the Cubs to reveal something? I guess I should thank him, but I have no idea why he does things sometimes. He's Kokichi.
So now that we know there's no hidden route, why did she manipulate the program? If there's actually nothing past the wall, then that setting was meaningless.
Mew wouldn't have done something meaningless. She would have had a plan.
Yes. Mew definitely wanted to be able to go through that wall for a reason. We aren't sure why yet, but once we solve the mystery of the virtual
For
world,
now. I still don't trust him. I know he generally works in our favor in like the worst way possible, but I still don't trust him.
Mystery of virtual world?
Yes, Gonta.
There have been a lot of strange occurrences in the virtual world. If we can determine why, we will also determine what Mew was up to. We'll know why she wanted to pass through the wall.
All right, let's clear up those strange occurrences.
Yeah, Gonta will help, even though Gonta not know what you're talking about.
That sounds like weird dream that Gonta had.
Speaking of strange occurrences, I'm just plain worried about that one thing.
And which thing is that, Samugi?
Remember? That thing that made us notice all the strange occurrences?
Oh, the noise. The events that led us there. The loud noise?
This is it!
There we go.
You mean the loud sound that you and I heard in the kitchen?
Ah. What? What was that sound? It sounded as if something was struck very hard. It came from outside, but...
You all heard that sound too?
Yes, in the mansion's kitchen.
But that sound occurred near the chapel. How did you hear it all the way at the mansion?
First off, sound can't go past the map loading point.
Unless it went the other way?
Did that sound really come from the chapel?
That sound was something hitting the chapel wall. It was real loud.
And we definitely heard it. We heard Kibo's voice as well.
For now, let's go outside and check. Oh no! What? What? That was Kibo's voice, right? I think I heard him outside. He sounded close.
You heard my voice too?
What? That is pretty strange.
Exactly. That has to be some kind of clue to the mystery of the virtual world.
Okay, well, let's check the answers later and try to find all the other clues first.
Can we ask Kibo what it was he said oh no to? Like...
There was another mysterious phenomenon in the virtual world, wasn't there?
Kokichi talked like he noticed something. Pretending not to know?
Even Gonta is suspicious of me? I always thought you would be the one to trust me!
Sorry, Gonta not mean it like that.
Gonta, no.
There's no need to apologize to him. He's probably just lying again.
He's definitely lying again.
What was the other strange occurrence? Did you see it, Shuichi?
Another mysterious phenomenon. Something that shouldn't be possible, like Mew in the mansion, or that loud noise. Is it the sign? I need to remember everything else that happened in there. Oh boy, here we go. No. This kitchen. Oh, there it is. Really? There, I can break that for free. Really? Really? Isn't, oh. There.
I see it.
Maybe I should look at the glowing thing that's beeping.
The sign that we were using as a bridge was odd to me.
Odd how?
We mentioned it before, but Mew dropped the sign in the river.
Whoops, my hand slipped.
We found it later, but there was something unnatural about it.
Well, I mean, we're in a virtual game, so, I mean, there's that. But, yes, finding the sign was definitely weird. I'm most confused by how the sign got there. I should remember exactly what happened with that sign. Alright, here we go. Oh, another taxi! Ooh, it moves now. Oh. Come on. Oh, oh, crud. I missed a bunch. Couldn't tell from the angle. Right? Oh no. Out of my way. Stupid car. It's getting a little trickier now. Out of my way. Unless the signboard swept away. When she moved it. Whoop. Jesus, take the wheel. River. What? It's a totally natural levitating podium. What are you talking about? Happens all the time. Yes, here we go. Oh, no. There we go. Alright, yeah, the moving blocks are a little trickier. There we go. Where is the end of the river? Very reckless driver. He's just a teenager. What does he know? Chapel side. There we go. Actually, I don't know what the age it is in Japan where you learn how to drive. I don't know if it's the same. It's like 16. Because you almost never see like anime teenagers like driving. Oh my god. What? Ooh. Got some. On my way. Oops. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Where was the signboard found after it was swept away? By the mansion. That's true, yeah. I imagine it's cheaper, too. Ooh, there's another one. Okay. Ooh, I hope I don't miss the blocks on this one. Man, look at those Mew pictures. Wow. No wonder they were trying to make it easy for me to see. Whoa, hey, hey. I have not been paying attention to the billboards. Maybe I really should be. Oh. Come on. Alright, almost got it. Yeah, the taxi's full. Ah, she goes in the trunk, it's fine. To the river's current, which way did the signboard float? Oh, there's a middle seat. With the current. Ooh, nope. Never mind. I got ahead of it. Against the current. Extra full car, yep. If it wasn't a convertible, I'd say just strap her to the roof. Oh yeah, there's that seat in the middle.
It appeared as though the sign was carried against the river's current.
I got a little ahead of
We
it.
all saw Mew drop the sign and watch the river carry it downstream. And the river was wide there. The sign should have traveled downriver toward the chapel, correct?
And yet...
It should have hit the wall on the far side of the chapel and stopped there. But that's not where we found it.
It was magic.
We found it near the mansion, nestled in some rocks.
The signboard should have been near the chapel, but we found it on the other side.
Hold up. Didn't you stay on the chapel side? She probably grabbed the signboard from the chapel wall to cross the river.
But then how did it end up in front of the mansion by that logic?
Then left it on the boulders near the mansion so she could get back.
Why would she leave the signboard where it could get swept away and leave her stranded?
Also, this has nothing to do with walking through the wall, right? We're getting off topic. We're so close to the truth. We just have to connect the how and what. All the mysterious things that happened have to connect with each other somehow.
Connect how?
A wall only objects can pass through. Sounds that shouldn't be heard. A signboard going against the river current. How are they all connected?
The sound thing is the thing that's sort of like,
I don't know, but Shuichi should know, right?
What?
No, what?
We would be in a lot of trouble if you didn't.
Man, way to throw me under the bus there, Kokichi. Dick.
The only one who can solve this mystery and save us all is you.
It's too much pressure.
So, how are they connected? Do you know Shuichi?
Ah, well, what we know so far is that the unnatural way the sign was carried is possibly related to the wall.
Hold up. Clues related to the unnatural way the signboard was carried by the river. What clues related to the unnatural? Oh no, this one's kind of... Yeah, I don't know.
Damn it!
Yeah, and this one's got like a very short time limit on it too. So something that shows how it was carried. Like, I mean, was it like the actual sign itself? Should I say the sign? Not the sign. Okay. So it wasn't map of the world, wasn't map of the mansion. So it's not the signboard. Really? Because I swear I used map of the world. No, that's... no. Alright, that's gonna be another little... Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, I did already. I'm gonna say the wall added by Mew?
This is it!
It might have to do
All right,
with a
we
wall
got it.
that only objects
We got
can
it.
pass through.
We're smart. We got it. Because that was the whole thing. It was how the river flowed and how things passed through the
sign
wall.
should have stopped at the wall on the other side of the chapel. But if that wall happened to be the one that Mew set to allow objects through,
I see. It's a wall only non-humans can pass through. That means the signboard can pass through the wall, right?
Even if it could pass through the chapel wall, how did it end up by the mansion?
Got stuck by the rocks. Loops around.
only way it could do that is if the wall was a warp zone. But it's not, right?
Not technically, but she's on the right track. That's right. That's the real issue here. How could the signboard pass through the wall but end up on the mansion side? What would explain that?
Leave it to me, Shuichi.
Nope.
I, your partner, will give you hints in times of trouble.
No, please don't. What?
This is the virtual world. We should throw away all of our common sense, okay?
Huh? The hell does that even mean?
Okay, this is promising so far. Kokichi might be onto something there. We need to forget about what we know and just think about it. How did the signboard pass through the wall downstream and end up upstream? Putting common sense aside and focusing on the flow of the river, how did the signboard pass through?
That's it! What if both ends of the river were connected?
Huh? Both ends of river connected?
Saw the great river. Oh, thank you,
Exactly.
Captain Shuichi, for the
Put it
follow.
another way,
Appreciate it.
The river isn't cut off at the wall near the chapel.
It just keeps on going.
It's all part of one big loop. The upstream part of the river is connected to it.
What? What are you talking about? Both ends of the river can't...
Don't use common sense. Don't think about it.
Again, throw out all common sense from your head. We're talking about the virtual world.
Then what about the wall? There was only one wall that could be passed through.
Right. Even if the river's connected and it goes through the chapel wall.
Who is dead? Mew is dead. Our perverted inventor extraordinaire.
It wouldn't have been able to go through the mansion wall too.
Why not? It's an object. Wait, in that case...
I got it! I know why Mew only set up one wall.
What are you talking
I
about
know,
now?
yeah. We were all very heartbroken when it happened. The reason she only set up one wall is because the chapel and the mansion walls... It's true.
That's it!
There we go, okay. Yes, the
walls by the
queen,
chapel and the mansion
Monotaro's
aren't
mommy,
separate.
is
They're
dead.
the same wall.
The same wall?
It's not just the river. The walls themselves are connected. Don't think of it as two separate walls, but a single wall parallel to the y-axis. That single wall divides the entire virtual world.
Look at it go!
The idea is, you pass through the wall by the chapel and come out by the mansion.
Everything is starting to connect.
It's all coming together.
See, didn't I tell you? Everything is connected.
Damn it, Kokichi! Just tell us...
It's okay. More importantly, this is the final stretch!
No, it's not, but that's okay.
If both the river and wall are connected, then you can find the secret.
The river and the wall are connected.
Shuichi, you already know the secret behind the virtual world, right?
Secret, huh? Yes, I suppose we should clear that up. We need to solve the mystery of the virtual world. Oh, here it is. Wait. Nope. Nope. L? Nope. LD. No. Seconds in is Monokuma. Ooh. More? World. Oh. No. Oh, did I miss him already? Loop. Okay, so I know the last one is an S. I'm looking for Monokuma. Did I miss him? Oh, I didn't miss him already, did I? Okay. I know it's an S, so I know what to do when it shows up. I'm just waiting on that Monokuma. Okay, nothing yet. No. Come on, give me that Monokuma. Oh, wait. Nope. Dang, where is he? So is he in one of these, or? Oh. Okay. Alright. Because I'm like, I don't want to, like, wait out this timer, but I'm like, I feel like I should have seen this by now.
Yes, that's it. The virtual world is a loop.
Yeah, and I was looking, I didn't see it.
Just like in old games, right? Like, for example...
They're the yin and the yang. Kokichi and Shuichi.
When a character goes off the left side of the screen and reappears on the right.
Yes, exactly. The edges of the virtual
Chiaki
world
was
are
here,
linked
she'd
together
explain
in
this
a
to us, no
continuous
problem.
loop.
The virtual world loops?
Yes, I guess they are the Itchy Bros.
What in the world?
If that's true, it would explain the way the signboard was swept away.
We don't really have another explanation for that.
It vanished into the wall downstream of the river, came out of that same wall upstream.
Yes, we know how the river works now. We get the wall and how the river
And floated
works.
with the current until it got caught on the rocks.
What was the world like before Mew added the wall?
Actually, there wasn't a wall on the y-axis at all, and the x-axis was set to loop.
Ooh, if I could get a decent version of it, that might be fun. Because it's not the full game, it's just the first
Even if it
case,
is a
right?
computer program, isn't that too crazy?
What's it called? Deception? Is that? I'm trying to remember if that's what the demo was called.
A looping world. That's more extraordinary than even magic.
Himiko, no! Magic is what makes the world go round.
But at least it's not a boring answer. It also explains all the things that happened.
Huh? It doesn't explain everything, does it? Because we still don't know why we heard that one sound or Kibo's voice.
She's right.
Yeah, sound doesn't go past the map loading point.
Actually, if we know that the world is a loop, we can explain that as well.
Huh? Really?
Yes, but first we need to be clear where the loop starts.
Where the loop starts. Doesn't it loop at the walls next to the mansion and chapel?
Not necessarily. If we heard a noise at the chapel from inside the mansion, then the loop...
Okay, where's the looping point? Nope. Oh. They think I'm a hack fraud. Alright, let's try this again. Oh, crud, there's really not a lot of time here. Where's the looping point?
There!
Okay.
The map loading point was where the virtual world looped.
Whew. I wasn't 100% sure on that one.
We thought the loading point was in the middle of the map. But the loading point was actually at the edges.
Okay.
So the wall you created wasn't at the edges of the world, but rather...
She just cut it in half and moved it around.
Her wall was at the center of the world.
I see. So the mansion and chapel were near each other, with a wall between them. And any sounds emitted near the chapel would also reach the mansion. The wall only allows non-humans to pass through, so sound should be able to pass through easily.
Wait, Hajime's in the demo version? What? The map can't betray me?
That's right. That's how the virtual world works.
Oh, interesting. We got technically 2 protagonists in the demo.
Impressive, Shuichi!
Yep, that's the laugh of someone who's definitely innocent and not evil or guilty.
For you to get this far! Yes! Yes! You are useful indeed!
Why do you do this, Kokichi?
For you to get this far? What are you, some villain pulling the strings?
Oh, maybe. Who knows?
You pulled the strings here, not me. Remember?
I would
you
never.
Also set this trap. It all began when Mew showed us the map. Because of the map, we mistakenly thought the loading point was at the center, which in turn made the mansion and chapel seem farther away from each other.
But the structure of the world wasn't actually like that.
It was the other
There was a
way.
wall along the y-axis, and the x-axis came around in a loop.
By putting that wall in the center of that world, she cut off the loop.
So ever since Mew showed us that map, we were caught in her trap.
Okay, so that makes more sense than why her body was found on that side. That makes sense now. I still don't know who did it.
Solved this mystery thanks
but-
to Shuichi.
Oh, all hail our
If
savior.
Shuichi wasn't here, then we never would have solved this mystery.
Come on, just keep loading on the pressure, guys.
That's right. Good work, Shuichi.
Thanks, Shuichi. You saved us.
We have not solved this case yet. Please stop.
You're welcome.
Oh, Kaito.
Just because we found out the virtual world's secret doesn't mean we can take it easy yet. Actually, this culprit hunt just got to the exciting part. Even if we know all the tricks, it's pretty meaningless if we don't find the culprit. That's how a class trial works, after all!
Well, thank you for explaining it to us, Kokichi.
Kokichi talking like Monokuma again.
Yeah, he seems to have taken Monokuma's energy from him.
No matter what you say, I'm not gonna believe your lies.
Actually, I wonder if that was their deal. Because they did have a little meeting before this case. So I wonder if it's just like, let me handle pulling the strings. What if Kokichi's gonna try and inherit the killing game from Monokuma?
I'm gonna believe in everyone.
No one
That's
confirm
how
or
I'm
deny
gonna
that
reach
in the
the
chat. That's just a guess. I don't know.
I can't wait to see what happens next!
What is Kokichi's plan here? He's definitely prodding at Kaito on purpose. Well, there's no time for distractions like him. What we have to do is find the culprit who killed Mew. Doesn't matter how many little mysteries we solve, if we can't find the culprit, it would all be for nothing. But I still don't know who for sure. But I still don't know for sure who it could be, in case the Mondays can't talk. Who used Mew's own plan against her to kill her? Who killed Mew? Ooh. We hit intermission early today. Okay. Yes, I definitely want to save. Interesting. Is this not as long a trial? Or is the second half just significantly longer? Because I'm a little conflicted, because normally I stop at the intermission, but we've got about 30 minutes left of stream today, but it's just, I don't know what sort of pace we're gonna pick up at, and I don't know if we want to stop, like, mid-investigation in the trial. Shoot. Well, let me know in the chat, guys. Would you rather we just stop at the intermission for today, or should we keep going for another little bit? Because we are going to be picking things up tomorrow night. Like, it's not like you're going to be waiting most of a week to find out what happens, but... yeah, it's... like, roughly, 20 minutes. Like, we can just goof around. That's always an option. Just kind of hang out and goof around, or we can keep going. So... let me know in the chat what you guys would like me to do, because I'm a little conflicted right now. Which, if we do stop mid, we can just keep going. Alright. So, actually, I'm going to take this moment, then, to take a quick washroom break. So, you guys let me know in the chat, do we keep going with the trial, or do we stop here and just... ooh. Can we do a love hotel? Yeah, like, I'm not sure how long the whole thing is. Can we... with the key I have... oh, can we do that in the extras? Because we do have our key. We can absolutely do one of those scenes. I thought we had to wait. So you know what? Because we've paused that. I'm gonna just... there. Here we go. Because I want to see if I can do that. Because I thought you could only do that in free times. Ooh. Is that what the intimacy event is? Oh, we can only watch the ones we already did. Oh. Or no, those are just the hangouts. Okay, so I don't think we can do those. Okay. Oh, we got the extra scenes here in case we ever wanted to watch those again. No, I guess we can't. Alright, so I guess we can keep going then. I'm actually going to take just a really quick washroom break, and I'll be right back, and we will continue with another little bit of the trial before we stop for tonight, so hold it. I'm back. Yeah, I wish they would let us do the Love Hotel scenes sort of like as part of the bonus. Just because I've got the key, I'm good to go. But I guess we have to wait for free time to do those. We don't have many characters left in that for that either. Okay. let us continue. We'll go for another 20 minutes or so. We'll see how far we get. Man, I'm bushed. I got no motivation at all. And Mono Fanny's... she's late. Father, why do you know Mono Fanny's cycle? Never mind that. Perhaps this lack of motivation is due to a lack of hibernation. Lack of hibernation? Yeah, I haven't been sleeping well lately, so I haven't really been able to hibernate.
That's awful. What could be causing it?
Is it 'cause you have a lot on your mind?
Is it 'cause the graveyard shift pays a better hourly wage?
It usually does.
Really?
Is it 'cause you don't want them to think you're just goofing around?
Is it 'cause you want to stay friends?
Is it 'cause you want to watch it in real time? Father?
He's gone into hibernation. We should let him be.
Yeah, you're right. Night-night. That is a weird little theater moment, but okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep this train rolling.
My head.
Monotaro! Pull yourself together!
I feel like I'm forgetting someone important to me, but I just can't.
Think, Monotaro, think.
My head hurts so much. I just can't remember.
If you've forgotten, maybe that's for the best. From this point forward, let's start a new life for ourselves. After all, our baby is excited to meet his daddy, you know?
They keep doing that, but no.
Daddy? Wait, what? I'm gonna be a father?
Oh no. There's gonna be something wrong with those kids.
What a colossal death flag. I'll be surprised if he doesn't die after that.
More importantly, let's continue the conversation where we left off.
We understand Mew plotted the murder, but we need to find out who killed her.
And in order to figure that out, we need to understand Mew's actions. So let's discuss her murder scheme step by step.
I know that's important, but hearing you lead the conversation really pisses me off.
Well, I mean, you can. I don't know if you'll be able to figure it out, Kaito, but... yeah, probably. Actually, because they keep doing that, I wonder if it's gonna be Mono Fanny.
To use it as part of her murder plan.
Don't just ignore me and start anyway.
Oh.
If she had succeeded, she would have gone past the wall between the chapel and mansion. And then wham! Murdered me on the roof with the hammer.
She would make the murder seem like it happened in the real world, and then pin it on Kaito.
As for Mew's alibi in the real world, she could say she was locked into the virtual world. And in the virtual world, she could say she was near the chapel the entire time.
She had a good alibi built up.
She'd make an excuse about how she couldn't reach the mansion because of the fallen bridge.
Whoops, my hand slipped. They're not gonna replay that, are they? Yep.
She dropped the bridge on purpose so she could separate the chapel from the mansion. Then secretly passed through the wall she installed and took advantage of the loop. After, she headed to where we were supposed to meet up, the mansion's rooftop.
Okay, checks out so far.
Kaito was probably logged out around that time too.
That's when I saw Mew.
Okay. Makes sense so
Problem
far,
is,
but...
because of her murder plans, we don't even know where she was killed.
She was killed on the roof, right? Kokichi told us the roof door was locked and that he couldn't get through.
Maybe that when culprit killed her.
That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof.
Did the culprit lock the door to the roof?
Perhaps. I don't think Mew did it. If Mew did lock it, she would have done it when she called Kokichi to the roof. Even if someone came up, I don't believe she would change the target of her plan. She knew that Kokichi would come up later. Locking the door would be suspicious.
True, yeah. And she had only programmed Kokichi, so it's not like she could just kill anybody.
Well, it's possible she didn't even think that far ahead.
She was smart, but she was also really, really dumb.
Himiko's got a point.
No say such mean things.
Do not speak ill of the dead.
Killing game bad, not Mew. Mew not bad person. Going to think we could have been friends if things different.
That might have been difficult, even without this killing game.
With Mew, yeah, that would have been difficult.
That wouldn't happen.
Nuh-uh. No way, Jose.
Huh?
Like
Anyway,
going to have
let's
his
continue the
fantasy.
discussion. If Mew was killed on the roof of the mansion, the culprit must have moved Mew's avatar to the chapel after killing her, right?
Not necessarily.
So the next thing we should talk about is how they moved her avatar.
Oh, yes, they would have with the lattice work.
Now we know the mansion and chapel were actually next to each other. But the problem is the wall between them.
Only Mew was able to go through that wall. The culprit wouldn't have been able to.
That's a good point.
Then you're saying the culprit sent Mew's avatar through that wall?
Yeah, that's the only way, right?
But how did the culprit send Mew's avatar through the wall? I mean, it's not like they could have thrown her.
Going to not throw her.
every case, Gonta's like, I did not throw the body.
We know. You
Not
couldn't
even
because the
Ryoma.
avatar's physical strength was equalized.
Physical strength equalized? That problem. Going to no can protect everyone if that happens.
It didn't matter. Mew ended up dead.
Jeez, keep up with us. We're already in the second half of the class trial.
Guys, I love Himiko.
How did they send Mew's avatar to the other side of the wall? Maybe that thing has something to do with it. You know, the loud sound you heard?
Ah. What? What was that sound? Guess it was
Because of
the
that
lattice
sound,
work.
you guys went to the side of the chapel. Right, Keyboy? That's when you found the dead Mew there, right? If so, then I think that sound and her avatar being by the chapel are related.
Yes, there's no doubt in my mind that the noise is related to the case. We need to figure out what that sound could have been. It might be the clue we need to solve this case. So what was it? It sounded like something slamming hard into something else. So what were those two things? It could be... No, that's not it. Maybe the lattice work next to Mew's avatar struck the wall? Think it would make a loud noise? No. I don't think the impact would be loud enough to startle everyone going outside.
Oh no!
Everyone's staring at me. I screwed up. They think I'm a fraud. It was the hammer. No, it was her.
Oh no!
Need to be something bigger than a hammer. Oh no. This is not good.
That's it!
That's... Please, give me some hearts back.
I think the
No.
sound came from Mew's avatar hitting the chapel wall.
Oh, I need to get those hearts back.
Hammer, cell phone, and lattice were there, but they were too small to make that noise. Ruling those out, the only other explanation is that the sound was Mew colliding with a wall.
If that's the case, Mew's avatar must have hit the chapel wall really hard.
Yep.
He felt the impact all the way from the inside of the chapel.
Yeah, that's the real question. Mew's avatar probably hit the chapel's wall with pretty considerable force. But why did it hit the wall with such force? Can you guys figure it out?
Are you sure you don't want to just tell us? Oh yeah?
Hold on,
That's
Kokichi.
cool.
What's up with the way you're talking? Why are you talking like you know everything?
'Cause he probably does.
Let's not worry about that right now.
Details. Details.
More importantly, we gotta solve the mystery. Fighting among friends is a waste of time.
Friends? Us?
What? We're like besties.
Anyway, can we talk about that after we figure this problem out?
A way of transporting Mew's avatar that would cause it to crash into the chapel.
Getting Mew's avatar to crash into the chapel from the mansion's roof. There's only one way I can think of how to do that.
Hey, Shuichi, as your partner, I'll give you a little hint.
I don't need your hint.
Your what?
Since the
slope.
mansion was on top of a hill, the roof was pretty high up, right? Past the brick handrail, the roof was at a pretty steep slope. And the slope faced the chapel wall. On top of that, there was snow on the roof.
You get it? You
If
get
the
it?
culprit needed force to move the body, I wonder how they did it.
Kokichi's talking as if he's got the whole thing figured out already. But I can't let him distract me. I need to solve the case. How to make Mew hit the chapel wall from the roof of the mansion. Gonna find the answer. Again? Nope. Oh. Oh. Oh wait, Monokuma's here. Oh. Ha ha! Slid. Nope. Oh. Duh. Slid off. Roof. Got it. all that salmon fishing has been paying off.
Use the sloped roof as a slide for Mew's avatar.
Took me a moment to figure it out.
Aw, man. Even with the slope and the snow, Mew's body wouldn't have slid.
Wrong. It would slide.
But the avatars can generate friction. We wouldn't have been able to walk otherwise. So I doubt that it would have had that much momentum.
Unless.
No. It would slide.
No.
It wouldn't slide, just like Maki Roll said.
It would slide, just like Shumai said.
Huh?
Who the hell is Shumai?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a pupil of Ramen Man. Sorry, my hobby slipped in.
I do not get that reference. I'm positive that's how Mew's avatar was moved, but maybe the culprit used something else as well to help her body slide. I know what it is. There.
Even if her avatar slid off the roof, would it slide off that quickly?
Well, duh, it would.
If it made that much noise, it must have built up a lot of speed.
Lots of snow piled up on roof. But not frozen solid, right?
We'd still slide, though.
In the real world, it might be difficult. But in the virtual world, perhaps not.
That's not the issue. Sliding down snow is easy to do. You just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing like that around, though.
Yeah, V.
Wrong!
It's Shumai and Kichi.
No, wait. There was something that could have been used to help slide Mew's body.
What?
Do you remember the lattice that was found by Mew's avatar? The culprit laid her on top of that, then used it as a sled on the roof. I did notice the lattice in the storage room when I first looked. But during the investigation, I saw that it was gone.
Shuichi, what are you doing?
lattice that
It's
was
like,
found
I'm
next to
showing
the chapel
evidence.
Is the one that disappeared from the roof? Then that's it. The culprit used the lattice as a sled.
Yep.
Ding, ding, ding! That's correct!
But now what?
After the culprit killed Mew
Oh,
on
they
the
did a little
roof,
animation and
he placed
everything.
her corpse on a sled and slid her down the roof's steep slope.
The
Whoa,
sled
look at her
picked up
go.
speed, flew off the roof, glided through the wall only objects could pass through, and hit the chapel.
The impact made all of her belongings scatter, including the hammer and cell phone.
Just something that occurred to
hedgehog
me.
who loses all his rings whenever he crashes into stuff.
Different game. Different game.
I hate that guy and his worldwide fame and his stupid games, and I hate that hedgehog!
Is he Eggman?
Daddy, I'm glad you're feeling motivated again, but you shouldn't be so hateful. You gotta be an example to our new family.
Yeah, Father. Or should I start calling you grandfather now?
Yeah, I wonder. Must be Mario. That's who he's talking about.
Now that we know how
Duh,
the body slid down,
explains
we're just
everything.
one step
The
away from
robots?
the culprit.
The robot animals? I mean, it was right in front of us the whole time.
Well, Shuichi, do you know who the culprit is?
The culprit.
Yeah. In the end, we'll still need to guess the culprit, huh?
But Gonta can't believe one of us killed Mew.
However, since we know she was killed on the roof, we can narrow down the list of suspects. Meaning, the culprit must be someone who was investigating the mansion.
Quick, break them open. Okay, I think...
Aside from you, the people at the chapel could not go through the wall or cross the river.
Okay. I think I'm gonna stop here, because we're hitting about time tonight. This seems like a good place to stop. We made a bit of progress. We're finally starting to get to the who in this. The thing that gets me, though, is... Only Mew knew the rules of what... Like, that she could go through the wall. So whoever did that to her is somebody who saw her run from one side to the other. Like, they saw her, they went, oh, like, she went through, so if I send her down the roof, she'll make it to the wall on the chapel side. So it had to be somebody who could see outside. Now, for those who are on our side who could do it, that narrows it down a lot, because it would be, like, me and Tsumugi are ruled out. Actually, would Tsumugi be ruled out? Because, I mean, no, if she sent her down, she would have gone too quickly. Like, unless there was some way of delaying pushing the body down, Tsumugi probably didn't do it. Because she was down there with us when we heard the crash. So that's me and Tsumugi. So otherwise, it was Kaito who was logged out. He's ruled out. That just leaves Kokichi and Gonta, basically. But would Gonta? Oh no. Would Gonta? No, not Gonta. In any case, we're going to be wrapping up here for today. We're going to be finishing up the trial tomorrow night at 7:30, roughly the same time. Same time, same place. If anything changes between now and then, I'll be sure to let you know on Twitter. But man, now I'm thinking about it. I'm glad we got that part of the case sorted out, just because I kind of knew for the most part. I knew like 90%. Oh, thank you, Javeman, for the follow. Appreciate it. Because I knew, like, the logistics of, like, roughly how the world was laid out. The two parts being swapped and put around together, I didn't know that. So that was new to me. But now we know the how. Now we just need to find out the who. So that's going to lead to some interesting confrontations tomorrow. So I hope you will join me for that. If you're looking for something to watch in the meantime, I've got my YouTube account linked here. I got some stuff there. Here, I should put an invite. I'm gonna give an invite to the Discord because we've got some new people here tonight. So hold up for just a quick second while I generate a code here. Yeah, hold up. Invite people. All right. So that should be the link to the Discord. Feel free to join us. We talk about we post silly Danganronpa memes. It's also where any new tweets I post go, any new YouTube video uploads happen there. Feel free to check it out, and I hope you will join me tomorrow night when we wrap up Case 4 and find out. Yes, share the Kibo art. I want to see that. And we'll find out exactly who killed Mew. Was it Gonta? Was it Kokichi? Who's to say? But Bayonara, guys, and so long, bear well. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good one.